We're going to be exploring the internal south-north migration in Bangladesh, including what causes this journey and the impacts it has, particularly on the cities that the migrants go to.
Bangladesh has a population of 174.5 million, which makes it the 8th largest country in the world by population. The country has a HDI of 0.67, which is within the medium HDI range, and it ranks 129th out of 193 countries. Its GNI per capita stands at $7,690. Bangladesh is also the 7th most vulnerable country to climate devastation, with a predicted 50 centimetre sea level rise by 2050.
2/3 of migration in Bangladesh is internal, and as you can see in the map on the right, population density is extremely high, particularly in urban areas such as the capital Dhaka, reaching over 4,000 people per kilometre squared. Urbanisation rates have also been steadily increasing in recent years, reaching 39.71% in 2022.
A key driver of internal migration in Bangladesh, specifically south-north migration, is environmental factors. Bangladesh is susceptible to natural disasters, having 47 between 2011 and 2020. However, this is being exacerbated by climate change. This is predominantly due to its low-lying topography, as 80% of the land in southern areas is barely raised more than 1 metre above sea level. This is illustrated in the map on the right. One such example of a natural disaster is Cyclone Amphan, which occurred in 2020, resulting in 85 people losing their lives.
90 million people living in Bangladesh live in areas known as high climate exposure areas, and 53 million people reside in places termed very high exposure areas. Contributing further to this migration, repeated flooding increases the salinity of the soil in these low-lying areas. Over the last 35 years, soil salinity in Bangladesh has increased by about 26%. This significantly decreases the capability of farmers to achieve sufficient crop yields. As a result, their livelihoods suffer and therefore they must move to find other employment opportunities. By 2050, estimates show that 1 in 7 people in Bangladesh will be displaced by climate change.
Rural to urban migration is the most prevalent form of internal migration in Bangladesh. A strong and established migrant flow is to the capital city Dhaka, which has experienced a 40% population increase since 2014. This is set to continue, with population projected to increase by another 6.7 million in the next 10 years, leading to a total population of 30.6 million.
The city already holds 47,500 people per square kilometre, and this figure is only set to increase as population rises. Many people are migrating through a coastal town to Dhaka, and it is thought that up to 400,000 low-income migrants arrive in Dhaka every year. This naturally leads to many negative impacts. For example, 53% of migrants in Dhaka live in poor quality housing in slums, and 23% of these come from the southern region of Barisal. The largest slum is Korail, which holds 50,000 residents in a 100-acre area.
This excessive increase in people living in the capital leads to a significant increase in population density and pollution, thereby decreasing living standards. Lots of people living in close proximity creates conditions in which communicable diseases spread more rapidly, and moreover, a lack of personal space can make people feel trapped and enclosed, therefore promoting a decrease in social well-being and mental health.
There may also be difficulties with sanitation, and poor building quality leaves people vulnerable and in extreme cases may even endanger their lives. Moreover, access to health and education facilities is likely unreliable or inadequate, meaning that in the long term a large number of children do not get sufficient education. Not only does this cause problems on an individual level, but this generation is also likely to be less successful contributors to the urban economy in the future, therefore having knock-on effects for the wider Dhaka population. Issues also arise when slums are not secure, and many young girls and women are liable to sexual abuse. Therefore, it's clear that south-north migration generates a number of socio-economic issues in the cities that migrants flow to.
To summarise, the greenhouse effect is increasing the amount of climate disasters, particularly in southern Bangladesh. Many people are being forced to move north, and they mostly move into cities. However, the impacts are not wholly negative in Bangladesh. Internal migration has been seen as a driver of economic expansion and modernisation. However, more pressingly, it is also the cause of severe urban deprivation and a destroyer of traditional rural life. The capital city of Dhaka is becoming increasingly dense in terms of its population, which is having adverse effects on the people and the place, both socially and economically. Unfortunately, it is likely this problem will get worse as climate change continues.
Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.